On October 22, 2019, 29-year-old Jennifer Pautenis was reported missing by co-workers after she failed to show up for work in Granbury, Texas. Deputies from Hood County Sheriff's Office spoke to her husband, Edward, who claimed that he and Jennifer had an open marriage and that she had recently left town with another man. A few weeks later, investigators searched Edward and Jennifer's home and noticed that a white van that had been parked in the driveway was no longer there. After a tip, the van was tracked to a business in Florida where Edward had worked before moving to Texas. Traces of Jennifer's blood were found in the van. Edward is arrested for tampering with evidence because he had moved the van from Texas to Florida. During an interview, he agrees to take deputies to where Jennifer's body is located.
Alright, we need to rope off this whole area because we're going to have stuff scattered. So we need to rope
right there by Chief's foot. Watch out, Chief.
Watch out. You got bones. Bones. We need to get everybody out. And we need to secure this whole area.
We're going to close off the gate.
Close off the gate.
Oh, where are you at? Jeff's is going to come out to fly the drone.
How'd you get pulled in there?
Huh?
How'd you get pulled in? Lucky you. Yes, sir. Yeah. You want it right here, or you want to go back up to the cars?
Let's go back up. Dip, brother.
What's that?
Yep.
Okay. It was. Yeah, doing some weird stuff. I've got mine. If you want to
we're going to need... let me hold on to it.
You want to follow me, sir?
Is it still working?
It should be. Sometimes they flash like that, and I don't know what goes on with them, but...
So she was drug out of there where I put her somewhere. I remember her over there by that tree. Whether that matters to you or not, but I'm just saying I put her over there by that tree. So she was drug out of that.
Over there where you went the first time?
Yeah. Bigfoot, something came along and got it.
Pretty close.
Which one of these things you drive? You drive one of these?
I got one of the patrol, or the marked ones up here.
Oh, cool. Pretty badass trucks nowadays, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, they're nice.
I had a friend who was a roommating with a state trooper, and he had one of them back then in Florida, had 5.0 Mustangs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah,
You
when I was
could compete with them, man.
I remember when I was a kid, those were running around, and then after, they stopped using them, they'd sell them wholesale or surplus, and some of them hot rodders get them because they had a pretty hot little engine in them.
Well, that's with me. Now I sold it now. I traded it for that beat up truck. A 95 with the last of the 5.0 roller cam motors. And I'm telling you, it was something to behold. And after all this has happened, I had nothing to drive. I traded it for a beat up farm truck. And it wasn't a race car, but it could.
Yeah.
It absolutely could. It'd suck a Porsche up and spit out pieces. I got pulled over by a Texas trooper and on the way to work, and some guy in one of them Challenger cars with this whoppa 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 and all that bullshit going on. My car was just sitting there being plain Jane. I spanked him, and I pulled in the store, and next thing I know, I got two troopers out there. I'm getting my coffee, and they're like, "You know about street racing in this state?" And blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Oh, no." I tried to talk my way out, and they didn't give me a ticket. But I had the car. I just, I had a good marriage, dude. I really did. For a long time. But I had the car. It was a show car. Been all over the United States. Stayed in the garage. Never saw daylight. Shelby thought it was one of his, and I kept telling my friend, "Who is this dude?" And he's in a golf cart with another guy. He's got a walker, and he goes, "Shut up, man. Shut up." We're at Hilton Head, South Carolina. And he goes, "You know who that is?" And everybody's like, "Hey, can I get your autograph?" And they're like, "Stand back, punch." He comes over to my beautiful yellow Mustang and he goes, "Is this one of mine?" I said, no. She said, do you know who I am? I said, no. And the guy says, this is Carol Shelby. I said, I have no idea who Carol Shelby is, but yet I did. And I said, just don't touch the car, man. He goes, is this one of mine? And I said, no. And he says, well, I'm not signing it. And I said, I didn't ask you to, sir. And it was kind of cute. But he stayed there with me at the car show at Hilton Head, South Carolina for a long time.
We're going down the road.
Okay. Take a few steps back, let them get out.
I'm a mechanic, you know.
Yeah.
Mud truck builder, amateur mud truck racer. My stepson took a record in a home-built truck at a place called the Gator Pit, and 7.6 seconds in 300-foot mud pit.
Damn.
On the back tires, with a street truck with mud tires, with brand new spanking mud tires that my nephew just bought. We had to beg him for them. We rimmed them onto my wheels and took it to the mud pit, gave it to my stepson who couldn't read, write, or count, who had no fear. And this, you drive a fast car, they will scare you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a race car will scare you. A regular street car that races, yeah. That boy took it out there and went 7 seconds across that mud pit. They accused him of using nitrous and everything else. Had the track record beat. Would not give him his $200 winnings. My friend Dennis gave them $200. They would not give him it was only $200 prize. He took the record with it, and they wouldn't give it to him because he was 16 years old and didn't have a driver's license. Well, he couldn't read and write, couldn't even speak. He had speech problems. Before he could drive.
Yeah, my first car was a 68 Dodge Charger with a 383. That was way more than a 16-year-old needed.
I had a 70 Roadrunner with a 440.
Oh, really? Now my buddy,
second car.
my buddy had a 69 Roadrunner with a 440 and had a 411 Positrack.
Yeah.
Oh man, that thing could get up and go.
Mine had 323 something in it. I don't know what it was.
Well, that's some tall
High
gears.
Speed, yeah, like 180 mile an hour racetrack gears. Yeah, it was badass. That was something else. Had the Roadrunner and the Coyote on the back of it, with the Coyote holding the Roadrunner by the neck, and someone hand painted on there, and a streaker, some guy running naked with it was called Streaker, with the CB antenna. And I bought it for $25, put 1,800 more in it, probably me and my dad and everybody else, the neighbors, everybody teaching me how to be a mechanic when I was a kid, and put that car together. I traded it for a motorcycle. But I had a bunch of them. 69 Camaros. I had a lowrider S10 Blazer that I bought. It'd been on the Hot Rod Power Tour. It had a sticker in the window. Bought off a kid that worked for us. Trina's kicking me out. I got a place to stay. I said, okay, how much you want for it? Steel Wheels is going to give me $500 for it. $500. So I didn't say nothing. They had a $3,000 paint job on it, but it was blowed up. So I got Lois, something like get my check out, because I'm the boss there. She makes my check out, $700 whatever dollars it was. I go down and cashed the entire paycheck, and I gave it to Joel. I said, here you go, $700. He said, no, thank you, man. You're gonna love the place. We didn't even start it. I left it there for years, and a year or more at the shop. So one day I got this guy who works for me. He was Richard Wexler. He was Arnold Palmer, golfer guy's personal guy. And Arnold Palmer was dead by then, or about dead. So he says, Eddie, let's go fix up the Blazer. I'm gonna start it up today. He went out there and put all these engine parts back on it and started it up, and it shook the building. But it was blowing blue and white smoke everywhere.
Yeah. This is the Blazer you said?
Yeah, Blazer. And
no, was it a
85?
Okay, so not the S10 Blazer.
It was S10.
Oh, okay.
And it had a Mosier, some kind of aluminum Mosier rear end, a 2-speed power glide transmission in it that looked like it was a aluminum case that had a bell housing that could go to anything. It was built, dude. Air shifter or regular shift. You could pump this tank up with air, And if you were at the racetrack, you hit a button. So here, it was cool, man. So I did the Blazer, and we took it down, Richard, because we put all my money into it, my income tax, and rebuilt this engine for a couple grand. Took it down to the Moroso Motorsports Park for a Hot Rod Super Sunday or something it was called. The only day, because you had to have racing seats and racing everything, or otherwise you could only go on a family day and run your family car. You can run that truck right there. And they even had cops that raced down there. And I told Rich, I said, Rich, go drive it. Because E.J. Potter, Michigan Madman, always told me. I know him personally. If you ever heard of him, he had a lot to do with monster trucks, sled pullers, and everything. He told me, he says, if you build a race car, get him to drive it. That way you can build you another, because he's going to get his ass killed. That's what he told me. And I just kept that consideration. Well, he didn't. Rich said I ain't driving. He said, just go out there, and when you see the light go down to the last number, the last green or the last yellow, he said, just mash the gas. And I did. And in drive, like I didn't shift the gears out, in drive, which was like it shifted second gear on its own, it wound out. It went 1103 at 132 miles an hour. It was badass. So I kept it a while, and I traded it for a Harley. And the Harley ended up, that was stolen, but I got that all. I was just telling Dan that morning. But I had a bunch of hot rods.
Yeah.
That's what I've done my life. Man.
One of my buddies, he was always doing that, trading one thing for another, and somehow ended up with a damn houseboat.
Oh, yeah.
Let it set for a while. Finally, some guy come by and was interested in it, and he asked him what he had to trade. He said, well, I got an old Camaro if you're interested in a race car. And it was a 79 Camaro, kind of the
I had a
weird,
78.
kind of a strange looking body style, but still pretty nice.
They were cool, heavy.
Yeah, this thing, it had a 454 board over 3-speed. It was running, it had nitrous on it, but even without the nitrous, it was running high and sometimes mid-10s.
I run nitrous on some engines. Threw six rods in a Blazer, a full-size K5 Blazer. Threw 6 rods in the street. Hit the nitrous bottle, leaving the shop one day. Second gear, because I had Granny 4-speed in it. It was a sled puller truck that never made it, and it was full of concrete. They poured it full of concrete, like deep, so it was heavy, and then I had the heavy front bumpers. And we took that out, and I cracked the cab of a semi-truck with it, no bottle on it, getting him unstuck in the grass field behind the shop. And my boss and everybody out there hooting and hollering, and the engine was setting off car alarms in the parking lot next door for the people that work there. And I had the cops show up, everybody. And I went to leave that day, and we had I think it was called a cheater or pro shot something. A nitrous kit that we were trying to finagle on there that came off my friend Chevelle, and I knew nothing about it. I didn't realize that you dump gas to it and feed the nitrous slow, otherwise you explode it. Not me, we just set it up like the dude had it, took it out in the street. When I left and I hit the bottle, I wound it up, hit the bottle, and 6 rods right through the bottom of it. Yeah, it was a unique one.
Back here in a little bit. Danny's not going to stay out here. Stoner's going to process out here. So
They still call it UNT.
no, we're not calling UNT because we're not digging. UNT comes out to dig.
Oh, okay.
So we'll take care of all this. But if if Danny takes him back in his truck, then just follow them up there. But if Danny says, hey, can you take him back up to the office? I don't know if Danny's done with him or not yet. So just either way, stick with Danny with taking him, our suspect back up there. He's not going to stay out here.
I assume he's been Mirandizing it. I haven't asked him any questions. We've been talking about hot rods.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, if he needs me to take him back, I'll take him.
Okay.
Are y'all about to take off?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Skin cancer from welding and stuff.
You still have your cigarette?
I got one left, yep. But I got all these skin cancers on me from welding and hydraulic oil all my life. I'm covered in them. And people get them all cut off. I'm just covered in them. And burnt my foot. I went to work for this guy here in Annetta. And they're like, man, he can weld. Well, okay, I'm a mechanic, but okay. You got to do your welding when you have to do what you got to do. I'm a fleet mechanic for a crane company. Of course I can weld. I passed a test for the Florida Power and Light nuclear plant, everything. and I was the mechanic that had to pass this test to get on the property because they're loading a railroad container onto a barge or some kind of thing, and it all had to be certified, everything. But everyone that went there had to go through this big process, and they gave me this welding test, and I was the only one out of 14 people that passed the test for flying colors. Vertical up, vertical down, overhead, and you name it, I passed it. And some of them passed everything, or some things, but I passed everything. And I got to work for this guy in Annetta, and they got big trucks, they haul septic tanks and stuff, so he wants to construct a truck. This is recent, this year. And we built this truck, and I went to weld this big plate on the back because they broke the plate off of another truck, so I fixed that one. They're like, whoa, where'd you learn how to do that? I said, today. So then, I'm just, I like talking. They said, well, we want to build this other truck, so I get this other truck out there, and I start welding on this thing, and it's cob daubing on me, with electricity. And this big drip went down and went inside my workman and burnt the hole so deep into my ankle. It's still a scar there. And all you can do when you're welding is just sit there, and you can almost taste skin on fire. And anybody else is throwing a weld lead back, running away, pulling their boots up. So that's basically. And once they see me weld, I welded them. Like I call them D-rings, them safety loops like you put on the back of the truck for the safety chains. And I call them nuclear welds. Like a lot of guys put a weld on there and they put a weld. I put real welds. Like when we welded the barges, I used to weld the spuds where they tie the ropes on the ocean barge.
I just told Danny you'd be with him. Is that still good? Okay, because the other one did.
Yeah, I saw
So
that flashy
Danny just
thing.
wanting to know, as far as I told him, when he goes to do other things, if he wanted to take that one, he could take it. If he wanted him to ride with you, he could do that. Whatever he wants, whatever Danny says, just do that. He's talking about taking him to the guns, where the guns at.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay. You want me to go talk to him, Danny, real
no,
quick?
he's good. I just told him whenever he was ready, just come see you specifically. So.
Okay.
And if
Airbrush art.
y'all are, is y'all getting radio out here?
I haven't checked it yet.
Just check radio check.
County 119 radio check.
Bass fish. Bass fish.
I haven't in a long
Bass
time.
fish, bass pro. Been on television.
Temple. I don't know what this address is. I know it's 8575 across the street.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
The sheriff was getting it. He found the landowner and everything. So it's you, Martin. Who else working?
I got Caleb, I got Daniel, and I got Tyler.
Okay.
Every day.
Negative. I was just checking radio. I'm out in a sparse area.
Oh, Looper. All right. If you have to cut somebody loose, you'll stay. He can cut loose. Just let me know if he needs to. If they start getting busy, and I'll have one of these investigators cover.
I've already told the other guys kind of what we're doing. And told them, just hang tight. Hopefully the day will
Don't be
finish up.
stirring up anything.
Yeah. Hopefully the day will remain like it has been, and they can handle it from here.
Growing dope in there. It's an old dope house. We used to grow dope in there. And he got that house back. Somebody. And he turned it into his own garden. It's covered in skin cancer. Look at my hand.
Yeah, I saw that.
I made up hydraulic oil, 130 degree, 150 degree hydraulic oil. Dip your hands down in there, grab the filter strainer out, get the feet running, sacrifice your body for a company. I worked for a crane company that had the space shuttle program under their belt. Still have. They got SpaceX today, and they recovered the rocket boosters, because like when the shuttle went up, the boosters come off. If you think they fall there, they go halfway around the world. They fall in the Indian Ocean.
Right.
Then they put them on barges over there, and they cart them all the way back, and so on, so on, so on. And they put the 747 with the shuttle on it, the moving around, all kind of stuff. And I worked for them 10, 15 years off and on, back and forth a couple times. Was a supervisor there in the shop. That's where I got all the skin cancer from, in that hydraulic oil, and painting cranes. Made some cool. I made did this thing with they took a radio disc jockey and they lifted him up in the air in a motorhome, 100 feet in the air, and made him spend the weekend up in the for radio promotion. I did that for him. That's some neat stuff.
Hey, can you walk with me for?
Yeah, sure, man.
Go back to this car. I
Just speak to me. All you have to do.
just noticed I left my phone in there. Been a little popular today too. Yeah. That's you're good. You're good right there. All right.
Them wheels look like they fit my truck.
Huh?
Them wheels look like they fit my truck. No, I'm just joking.
What year is it?
I have 8 lugs on mine.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, is yours a 3/4?
Yeah, I guess. It's a
Yeah.
Cheyenne. No. Just got it. I call it the farm truck. It's a Silverado. An old beat up 2004 Silverado.
Yeah, I guess somewhere along the way they decided 5 lugs just wasn't doing it anymore. I don't know.
I broke lugs off getting the wheel. I have broke on my 69 Camaro. I broke the lugs off mine. I had a VW with a 2700 cc built out of a 1600 cc with a big bore kit and all this junk. It did wheelies as far as you could really control your mind to want to hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a rail buggy. And I was out on the street. I put regular street, BF Goodrich all terrains because the paddle tires that were on it when I had the car. If you punched it in second gear and clutched it, you stared at the sky. And my kid took it down the road, and when you're riding, it's going like this, thump, 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 because these paddles. And we lived on this dirt road, and he took it down, and he punched it in the sand dunes, and hit a tree and towed my front end in on it. Well, that hurt the car. So we fixed it, and I put BF Goodrich all terrains.
You got your cell phone with you?
Yeah, sure do.
Flip pocket this. And turn it off, okay?
Yeah, no problem. There you go. It should come on there and say turn off.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm actually there it is.
Well, I took that thing out on the road, and it would do a burnout, but in second gear. First gear wouldn't do much, and I was doing this big old burnout with it. I packed up, did another one, and I grabbed into the third one and broke the lugs right off the back of the Volkswagen. Broke them. And it had some kind of high-tech spindle thing on there and everything with these 5-lug Chevrolet deal. That thing was built. And, it was a cool one. I bought and traded for that too. Like you're saying, you keep one an hour and then get another one. You give me another one.
Yeah, and you always regret everything you get rid of.
Built a blower motor for my buddy. He's a good friend of mine. Got cancer and died from doing powder coating. And that's what they blamed it on.
Yeah, what kind of cancer?
I don't know. His lungs, his body, something got him.
I can imagine inhaling all that stuff.
I don't know how he got that's what he was doing when he died, was powder coating. And he had a speedboat that they used to race. A speedboat they used to race. Snake River. Remember that? They raced
Snake River, yeah.
boats. He got it. He puts it together. He goes, gets a big block Chevrolet and runs out home. And had this thing, the block and all, long story, all this work done for thousands of dollars. And I know E.J. Potter, the Michigan Madman, if you ever heard of him, he's one of the guys that perfected the monster trucks into what they are today. He was one of my dad's and my best friends. Taught me a lot about mechanic work. All of us put our heads together and we built this big block Chevrolet, and we put a YN. There's a 671 GMC blower, so there's a YN blower on this thing. Put it in a jet boat, and it would water your eyes, and then you could punch it, and it gets so out of control, he couldn't hold the steering wheel. He put dampeners on it and everything to hold it, but you still couldn't drive. it was vicious. It was called Bad Company. But I did most of the work on that engine. I put the crank, the whole thing, the can, degreed it all together, put the heads on it, and Potter came over because all the timing had to change when you put the blower drive on there. He switched all that mess up. And yeah, Potter did all that junk and helped us out. Potter was like 80, still driving a KZ 900 motorcycle. 80-year-old man.
Yeah. How's it going? Okay. Okay? Yeah. All right. Just let you know. So, I'm in contact with them for that. Should be here Saturday. Okay.
I spent my life in the grease pit and with bad women. I love my wife to death, too. You married?
Yes, sir.
And Ryan, she refused to go to church with us. She was, it was like they throw holy water on the girl in the Exorcist. They piss at her. Lately. And she was really bad.
Is that horse stuff still at your house, or where's the horse stuff?
I gave it to one of the neighbors or something.
Okay. One Ray Cord?
Yeah.
You don't.
He has no clue.
Okay.
No.
Alright. Something else I was going to ask, but
No, he has no clue. Alan's a good dude.
yeah. How far were the guns from down the road here?
Here? Yeah. Not near to my house.
The guns were
by
by
my
your house?
house. Near my house.
Oh, near your house. Okay. Do we need to go by there while it's daylight, or
You want to ride over there?
I mean, is daylight better for you or not?
Well, either way. I mean, I can't really point you at them. It was probably night when I tossed them, but
Okay.
I can get you within a few yards, and you got to go out there and really get your search spot out there and find them.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling you, that's where it would be.
Okay.
And the rifles I took new pieces. Shit all over. So you know where all that is.
Yeah.
Right through where the barrel went. Seen one of them on a video where a guy had them on soda bottles and was trying to set them down in the lake.
Things are pretty amazing these days.
Hey, whoa, easy there. Whoa, I'm just joking, man.
Pretty neat.
Battery's already dead?
How long you been on this police leave? Been with the cops and stuff?
I've been doing this about 5.5 years now.
Okay.
So I worked construction for a long time with my dad, and when I was early 30s, decided I needed something a little more steady than.
You look early 30s now. How old are you?
I'm almost 40.
Oh man, you're still young. Yeah, it's a big career. I think my brother-in-law, he's obsessed with it. Dangerous, but
What does he do?
he's just a school kid, 17 years old.
Oh,
Jen's brother, he wants dying to be a cop. Dangerous. I must. Dangerous. like somebody got him a fender bender.
Yeah, I think that's from a while back. Most of our cars, they change hands pretty regular.
Gotcha. Yeah, my friend Pete was a mechanic that did work where they serviced them all. They bring them in there.
How long is Martin going to stay up there?
As long as you need us.
Well, that's nice of him to lighten these handcuffs on him. He put them right on that bone. Hurt so bad.
Good now?
Yeah. Glad this is She got so obsessed. She was so obsessed with. She got this thing where she has to go meet other men offline, go f them all the time. It was all great. We did it for years. She's done it for years. She did it for years. And it got really, really intense in here. And she was violent on top of it. Because she was fat, and she'd go out and make herself look like she was 100 pounds, and when they'd meet her, and she was 270 or 230, and guys don't like that too good. She'd come home and take it out on me and the kids. A lot. Things happen, I guess. Yes. I like the cow guards. Is that for deer? Is that why you put them on these trucks up here?
Man, honestly, that's
just
the
a Texas thing.
well, that's the Rangers truck.
Gotcha. I'll ask him.
Them Rangers are pretty secretive about what they do and why they do it.
Yeah, I got you. What I'm saying is, look,
We just have the little push guards there, you know, if we have to push something out of the way.
tiny
But,
little bracket that connects it to the frame.
yeah.
Now, when something hits that, what do you think's going to happen?
Well,
Trash that front end, buddy.
normally they call those things a cow catcher, or, but usually it's more like a front end cable renter.
I built one for a guy out of chain, and we welded every link. It must have took us 3 months. We copied one and welded it out of chain, all the pieces, and then we made the plate in the shop, in my shop, where I was. And on the bottom of it, we took the bumper off of it, and we took 1.25 inch pipe and bent it in the shape of a little truck and stacked them up, and it must have been 15 inches tall. Stocked up pipes, and it was heavy. The forklift grunted when we put it on the front of the truck. And that was a real one. He said it could mow over anything. And I had one on the F450 at the place I worked, and was twiddling through the Boston cow pasture, and ran over a little sapling thing with my Mexican kids was with me, and they came in like this, and busted the whole grill out of my F450. My service truck at the shop. And my boss, he was pissed. What are you running trees over for? They're my trees.
Danny's fixing to go. I need you to follow him.
Okay.
And we're going to be following y'all.
Okay. Back to LEC or
Now we're going to go over and see if we can find the weapons.
okay.
I tossed the flips everywhere. I don't know what it's called. Parts are on there.
Say again.
The guns from all this, I took the 22s apart the best I could and tossed shit everywhere. There and garbage cans, there's parts everywhere. They went everywhere. The gun barrels I tossed in the weeds. And then the 25 I tossed on the side of the road. And I can tell you that, I could probably pinpoint you pretty close to that. And the 222s I had.
Well, it sounds like Mr. Briley that you rode with earlier. I think he's going to take you back out there.
Awesome. Dan. Just put my stuff out of the driveway so you can squeeze through here.
Daddy's gonna turn around and pick him up here, and then
Okay.
you follow Danny, and I'll follow y'all.
No problem.
It's a nice Bible Belt area too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go to church as much as I can. Now, I go to church every chance I can. I put my kids to bed with Bible stories. Keep them sheltered from everything harmful. You got kids?
Mm-hmm.
I
3.
keep them sheltered from everything, buddy. I monitor their YouTube, everything they do. Wife didn't care. She didn't give a shit. She played that disgusting music. Let's just call it that. With disgusting lyric and stuff like that. Now, when we're younger, sure, we might listen to that. But when you're 29, you're playing this for your 5-year-old daughter. My daughter's doing booty hump because you doing what? And Jen was getting shit really bad. All over though. Still over. She's dead. I love her still. I helped her out. Hold on. Domestic violence to me. Only once reported, but a few times non-reported. Pulled my 45 on me. Had a 45 gauge with my wife. And I think I gave $400 for it. And I'm not really a great gun guy. Jen, at the shooting gallery down there by y'all's place, I call it, what they call Pirate's Den.
Mm-hmm. The indoor shooting range.
Cut the center out of the target, son. Cut the center out. Could you do that? She cut the center out and then a little piece of paper hanging on. I'm like, holy. And, but she pulled my 45 on me down in Florida. And that's how he just wants me. But she pulled my 45 on me and I hauled ass. Oh, here's my guy now.
You want to take a ride?
Yeah, you want me to
Yeah. Alright, you follow me?
Yeah. You want this?
Yeah. Yeah, here's the other one. I don't.
This one's guaranteed to work
Okay, is it on right
for a
now?
while. Yeah,
On right
it's
now?
on.
Okay.
It's me right in front of you. Let me turn around quick.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
Oh, my damn hemorrhoids are falling out. I can't push them in.
Oh, man.
You got hemorrhoids? So you have to lift heavy stuff.
Yeah.
You have to lift heavy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get these,
I guess you can get that, huh?
yeah, sort of. Then your butthole starts falling out when you get in your 50s. Get
Yeah.
ready for that. And hurt and burn and hurt.
Yeah.
You know where my house is, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
You may have to direct me a little bit because I don't drive these roads like.
All right, yeah, go all the way back down to where, remember that traffic light we were at? And I said that the road behind there
Yeah.
takes you to my house. So whatever, I'll try to point it out. If not, hang a left on. What the hell's the name of that road? I'm so brain dead, Dan. Acton, we called it. That's
There you go. Yeah.
the street before Acton. Hang a left on that. You go past post office, past the school. So that one dude come up and said my sister was supposed to come see me Saturday,
Good.
supposedly. We
Sophie?
butt heads a little bit, yeah. She's a good girl.
She loves you.
I know she does.
She's been trying to do right by you and kiddos. Thank you, brother. Yes,
I hope she gets my kids. Please help her get them, please.
You got it. You got it. She's
I said talking 100 miles an hour to keep myself from bawling like a baby.
I know. You're not alone in this. I mean, I know you feel
I am.
extraordinarily alone, but like what I mean is your faith is going to grow stronger. I just, you're that kind of guy.
Will you be my friend and come talk
Yeah,
to me,
I
please? Please.
I will, man.
I don't know anybody else.
I will. And sometimes when you want to talk to me, you just send out a piece of paper or whatever. You know, you can reach out. All right, man. And I will show up if I'm out of town or whatever. If I don't show up, it's only because I am out of town. I always answer phone calls or call back when I'm
I have
called
nobody's phone numbers, reckon.
Oh yeah, you don't. These people know how to get a hold of me, and I'll tell them, listen, you know, if he's wanting to talk to me, just to talk.
Somebody to relate to. I mean, I'm not a jail guy. I don't now go deal with that bunch of criminals. Guess you call me a criminal now, right?
What's that?
You call me a criminal now, right?
You're one of the. You're not the kind that are the ones we have all the time. You know, like, but they happen a lot, and so you're yeah. Ed, man, you were treated like hell, man. I mean, you've been living a damn hard life.
You made that point. She was living the life while I was catching hell the whole time. Is that you just said that? Somebody else said that to me.
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't really catching hell. I enjoyed my life. I enjoyed so much everything I do. I really do. I get enjoyment out of the smallest things in life that other people have to search their entire life, and they run past the enjoyment over and over again.
Yeah.
And they can't recognize what true enjoyment is. Like, you go to church and get amongst good people. That's enjoyment for me.
Yeah.
Other people, it's like, I have to show face in this place to get out of here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them in Granbury like that, at these little churches. I've been to 2 of them. I went to First Baptist for a while, and then went to Granbury Baptist. The people at First Baptist, a couple of them I did work for them, tried to take advantage of me. So they kind of shunned me away from there. Or I would fix a guy, or fix the guy's friend's mower or whatever, lawnmower thing or something, and then they come flailing back at me like I did something so wrong.
Wow.
And it's like, all you know is you gave your heart and soul and said, ma'am, I just tried to fix the winch on your thing. I didn't even charge you for this. And you're giving me crap because something, you know.
Right.
I need this fixed now. I refuse to answer a call. And there's one guy from that church who was really good. He's on my phone, Greg, and I don't know him, but he brings jet ski to me. I give him an estimate. This is what I think, and this is what I think, and what I think, and I can't charge you nothing. Give me $20. Give me $60. But I find enjoyment in small things. Used to.
You will still find it. You can't see that right now. It seems unfathomable,
But Jeff, for these guys,
man, I tell you, man, that's dangerous on them guys to be doing that. I mean, ordinary people would have been driving faster than me.
Well, not just that, but the stuff that they hit will come right through your window, my friend.
Good point.
Watch that, John. I seen a common bolt go through a windshield of a car, clean through it. You'd have thought somebody blew a hole in a 12 gauge. Just a common bolt. I don't know what size it might have been, an inch. It was big. I'm sorry I brought all this on everybody myself. I wish I could have just held my cool and not. I mean,
everybody has a
I was under intense, man. It was being like she was coming at me acting. Man, I can't.
Dr. Jekyll Hyde or whatever you call it.
Yeah, the kids will tell you. She yells at us all the time, you know, and she's
Well, so much you taking in
She
situations.
plays that violent ass video game she plays. Everybody kills everybody.
Yeah.
You know, everything is hurt and harm. And everything on her videos she found funny was someone getting hurt. I can't find funniness in watching a video where, I mean, some of it, yeah, it's chuckle, Dan, but like, and I'll keep mild. Just say it's a guy on a trampoline jumping and he bounces off the trampoline. Looks like he probably broke his neck. That's funny to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that through the Bible and church and stuff. Like, you can't find humor in someone else's hurt and harm. You know?
Yeah.
You can't. You know?
Right.
And it's the difference between right and wrong. You know, I clearly did something wrong.
I'm sorry you were
God,
treated
please
so
forgive
bad.
me.
You know.
I even played with some of this kind of junk, metal art.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ambitions in my life, and I dropped a lot of it for women I was with and stuff.
How did you meet Jennifer in the first place?
She was my stepson's girlfriend that he met and drug home,
Okay.
and my wife at the time was, well, she was AWOL out of town for eight weeks, 8 months, forever. Supposedly going to see her friend with the old story, and she was living with some guy in another town away from there. And then I caught wind of that through some girl that knew I would go to Dunkin' Donuts, and she goes, "You have any idea where your wife is?" I go, "No." She just come by and see me. So I went by her house, told her story. Anyway, told the ex about it, and next thing you know, she come back to Florida in a week or three, and my stepson wanted this girl to move in, and I'm the guy that don't just let anyone move in my home. And at that point, I was at wit's end. I'm like, sure, let her move in. Look, she's gonna hurt at this point. And Jen moved in, and she was very friendly and very nice. Bought me stuff for my birthday. My wife didn't. And she made my wife kind of jealous over it, really. And my wife was still fooling around, you know, doing her little online thing that she did. Not like Jen, but she was into that. She liked her men too. I know she did, but it wasn't a like go ahead and do it thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I got with Jen, I was like, well, go ahead and do this. Because I already been through this once. So, Jen was with my stepson at the time, and that's how I met her anyway. She moved in with us, and we just were friendly, you know, watched the B movie and this and that, you know, never did nothing, you know, never flirted. I never did. I'm not that guy, man. You can put Hooters in front of me and I'm not going to flirt with her.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know, I searched out the person and I liked and loved the person, not Hooters. So, Jen moves in with us. My mom was really sick, and my brother and them had her under this house care and all hospice and all this crap was coming along eventually. And mom's sick, she's not doing well, we don't know if she's going to make it. Can you come see her? Well, I've been to Pennsylvania where he lived, he's dead now, a few times over a year or so because mom was on her last breath. And it was like, was it the kid that cries wolf? You know?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't sure if that she was really on her last breath, but I still had to see my mom. I love my mom to death. So I went to my ex and I said, look, hey, Deb, you want to go up and see mom, you know, because my brother's calling again saying mom's not doing well and so on, so on, so on, so on. And she looked at me because we'd sit around and play cards, and I'm not a card player. We play cards and do things. Jen was trying to be so friendly, teaching us and being happy and making everybody laugh. And she was funny, you know, she was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, my wife looks at me and goes, well, I said, can we go? I told my wife, so we'll go up there, maybe we can talk about this because we still had a lot of tension going on because she was living at some man out of town for 8 weeks or 8 months or how long she was gone. Then she just looked at me and she picked up the keys and throws them in the air and catches them like this. And she goes, "Hey, why don't you take your fat girlfriend with you?" And threw the keys at me and broke the window glass out of my mom's china cabinet.
Oh.
Well, my mom's china cabinet I've kept with me my whole life. It's in James' bedroom with the window glass still broke out of it, by the way. And something struck me funny, Dan. And I looked at Jen and I said, "Jen, you want to go meet my mom in Pennsylvania?" She says, "Let me get my things." So I went out. I was serious, and I went out. You want to hang a left like this little road right up here, or you can go down the other way. It don't matter. You dragging your guys across all this traffic might not be cool.
Go where now? Do I need to go straight or?
Yeah, hang a left at the red light. Make it easy
Okay.
on them. I don't want them to have to be lagging behind you. And we drove off to Pennsylvania. Never flirted. Never kissed. Never had sex. Stayed in the same motel room. Never had sex. Nothing. It was pretty wholesome. And we got to know each other. And because Nolan, he didn't want nothing to do with her anyway. He wanted some fine-ass girl. Because Jen was fat. 200 pounds. So we got to know each other over them couple days in Pennsylvania. See my mom. "Oh, she's beautiful. I like her." And I said, "This is Nolan's girlfriend." "Oh, she's so cute." Mom didn't have a problem with it. So I came back to Florida with her. No sex, nothing. And they didn't try. And probably could have, but didn't. Come back to Florida. And my wife would not let me in the house and called the cops on me. So basically forced me to not be able to go home to my own home that I built with my own hands. My home. And hand built. I mean, it was built, but I finished it, all of it. And I wasn't allowed to live there, so I'm creative. I get my foreman that worked for us, and I roommated with him, and then got me an apartment, and moved out. Jen moved in with me, and we've been together ever since. And she left me once for about a day and a half, 2 days, moving with Missy, and never told me what really happened. But she came back with cigarette burns on her titties, or some drunk guy was supposedly burning her titties or something. She wouldn't tell me the truth what happened, but something happened.
Wow.
And she had to come move back, so I said, "Okay, and I love you," and blah, blah. And that's when we really started to fall in love. And we stayed together for years, but she always had this sexual deviance to her. Well, I want a threesome, I want a this one, I want a that one, I want a this and that and the other, or him or her or them. And I just kind of went with the flow, Dan. It's like, she's half my age. You know, what are you going to do? I'm not a porn star, dude.
Yeah.
I hang left at the traffic light here. Makes it easy. And, yeah, that's how we got together. And we stayed together for a lot of years. And then the sexual thing just kept growing and growing and growing. And then she started lying to me from time to time. And then she lied more and more. But we were still honest and loved each other. And always expressed the best thing that holds a marriage together is honesty. And once she got around this girl that she met from Mississippi this year.
Is this right, Ed? This ain't.
Yeah, you can hang your left right here.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, this is James Road. I do know that road. There's my kid. But we've been together, you know, good. And she met this girl, India, that became her best friend instantly. And then she got deviously after that. You know, she wasn't telling me truthful things, and she would hide things from me and stuff like that. And I'm good with it. I understand, you know, you could at least be honest with me. And then she'd come off and laugh and tell you the truth. This is what really happened, and so on. But as that grew on, and that was from 2018, as that grew on up until this spring, now that's when she went to go meet the India girl and ended up having sex with her husband's best friend and held that from me. And I even told her, "Are you going down there and have sex with somebody?" "Oh, no, not me. I'm just going to visit India." And it was a big lie. And then she couldn't live with herself when she got back. She had a nervous breakdown, everything. And then finally told me the truth. And she had spent all her vacation money going down there. The kids didn't get a good vacation over it. So we got a vacation anyhow. We really buckled down. Because you don't want the kids to be affected by that. They're going to Florida for vacation. Now all of a sudden we can't go because mommy's devious activity. But that happened, and then on it went, and meeting up with that Callie girl from, she was avoiding Jen all the time, and these different ones on Facebook that are from her pecan plantation job Jen had, and I don't want to say it, I don't want to say it in the wrong time, Dan. Fooling around on their husbands and things like that, and boyfriends. And that was her clique of friends, and she clicked with better than anybody. Even the Amy girl that she works with at that job over there. Both of them on that Snap app. And that one that she works with was wanting to meet up, I guess, I'm taking a guess at this now, wanting to meet up with some IT tech, internet technician dude that work comes in that place. Jen wasn't having that, so she had to get his number, got his wife's work schedule and everything. And I don't know to this day if she had sex with him. She never told me. Then the Barry Griffin child sex offender guy from, I told you about him, Pecan, was hitting on her all the time. She told me about him, and I told her that's not your best interest right there. But acting like my dad, blah, 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 I already got a dad. And things go on, but I got along with her, and we get along. We had plenty, Dan, don't get me wrong, we had plenty of fun and plenty of laugh and plenty of video fun and fun with the kids and plenty amongst all this. It was almost like her split personality in a sense, of her alter ego. It's just my personality, my bubbly, flirtatious personality. So, but that was Jen and I, dude. And then she got pretty angry as of late. She was pretty angry a lot. And the kids, they have to tell you.
The what?
The kids would have to tell you. She made me cry for a full year, just to do it. I think she got pleasure in watching me quiver. She'd always tell you, why don't you go kill yourself? She'd say all kinds of drunk, she'd say anything. And Missy, her sister Melissa, her boyfriend shot himself over his girlfriend, over Missy, lying to her. She brought some dude to my house from James's first birthday party, and Charlie saw it on Facebook because somebody was taking pictures. Who was Missy with? I said, I have no idea who that dude is, man. Some dude she brought over here. I was honest with him. So he freaked out, and nobody would tell him the truth. And Jen, I don't know who even spoke with him. And next thing you know, Charlie blowed his brains out in his bedroom over her sister.
Yeah.
The one that supposedly is all upset about Jen and all that. And it was a mess. This year she got really bad about it. And since I went to work for this company over here, she's 4 times worse than ever. And then I'm obsessed with it in the past 2 months. If I can get a new one every day, I'm happy. A new man every day, I'm happy. Could you imagine your wife saying that to you? Could you deal with that very well?
No, man.
And I did, because it's like, otherwise I'm going to move out and we can share these kids. And okay, and then Jen, what are you going to do? Expose them to every perverted fucking asshole you meet? Like I was telling you, I throw the gun parts all over. They could be in garbage cans. I could put them anywhere, dude.
All the parts.
25s in one piece, I think. The clips I threw somewhere to garbage. I might have threw them at Speedway or somewhere I got gas. Put them in a bag, got rid of them, stuff like that. Just chucked parts of that shit everywhere. But, there's 2 places amongst where they are. I can show you within a few yards probably where them gun barrels are.
Okay.
And 25, I can't pinpoint it exactly, but I know it's along the edge of the street there, up into the, what do you call that, the hedgerow along the side.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking, maybe.
Yeah, I can tell you that. Well, Texas, that's a Comanche Peak that I went to the top of with the kids. Well, she had some dude at the house right over there.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing. We went all the way to the top of that. All right. Would you want me to drive you, since you're the main guy? I'll drive you by this first.
Okay.
The gun barrels will be down that street, but I will show you where I, pretty accurately where I tossed the 25.
Okay.
So I'll go across this way, and I'm gonna be relatively close.
Okay.
Because I winged it out of the driver's door. It would have been up here, probably past this telephone pole, somewhere between that pole, amongst here, right there in the edges of the grass, somewhere amongst that, in that hedgerow.
Okay.
So it's leaves, so you'll probably need somebody to come in there with a metal detector and find that.
You think it's tossed in there deep, or?
Not really. 20 foot off the road, plus minus.
Okay.
To take you to it, I can't put myself on it.
Yeah.
I'll be out there until after dark.
Yeah.
And if you want to spin around, I'll show you where the gun barrels are within reason.
Okay.
You see big deer here. Real big deer. There's one with horns, a rack of horns as long as your arm, man.
Yeah.
Comes down here. You see him all the time.
I did see it.
He's skittish, buddy.
Yeah.
And one has one.
Deer hunted out here.
One has one. No, you could.
25 auto is going to be in that range where I started pointing. Okay.
Yeah, go slow here, real while you go by there. It's hard for me to. There you go. All you guys got dark ass tent. It's on up that way, I'm sure. So you can eliminate that area. It's probably somewhere amongst from here that wayish. And it didn't go much further than that fence. Maybe plus minus a little bit. And that's some deep ass looking in there.
Yeah.
And I kind of underhanded it when I threw it.
Yeah.
And to spot it, I can't even begin to tell you, my friend.
Yeah.
But that's where that went.
Okay.
I know that's where that went. Somewhere amongst that. Not, whether it could have been up in this thick, it could have, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Amongst here, maybe. But it's amongst that, like how many feet are we from that?
Right.
It's within that much more past that. I couldn't throw that far. I'm not, I am left and right-handed, but
you are?
I couldn't have thrown that far.
Okay.
Machine shop and welding will teach you to be left and right-handed, dude.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Anyway, that's roughly where that would have been, and hung in there. And that's going to be a search mission for you kids.
Yeah.
And go that way, yep. And then right as you get into the curve, because I came down the street, went into the curve and pulled my truck over, got in the truck bed, and I threw the rifles off into the woods right over here at this curve on the left. Probably amongst where that delineator thing is, or where that little sign is, maybe. No, it's not a sign there. Sorry, keep going.
Over that.
It's like that yellow thing. Yeah, so that's a little further up. I would say here-ish.
Okay.
And them woods right there. And I stood in my truck and I winged them off into the woods.
So you stood in your truck, like in the bed of it?
In the bed, and went
and
threw them that way.
Threw them that way?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think... So you were coming this way?
Yeah, I came this way, pulled my truck over just after the curb, which would be about right here, and I threw them that way.
Okay.
So
now, one a barrel or two, or just?
There was two of them.
222.
Yeah, 222
rifles.
One was a Marlin, and one was a Ruger 1022.
Okay. Marlin and a Ruger. You shot her with both of those?
Yep.
Okay. And the 25 auto, only yourself?
I shot myself and her.
Okay.
And the The Marlin jammed up in like one shot, I think. Might have been two, I don't know.
Okay.
The Marlin never worked good. It got sunk in a Toyota 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And it never worked right since. I took it to this gun guy down here,
Mm-hmm.
and he scratched it all up real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which it didn't matter anyway, but it wasn't that tore up with the gun. And charged me $75, and I took it down to the pirate shooting gallery. Yeah, I call it shooting gallery. And it jammed up almost every time. And I just never took it back to say, hey, look, this didn't work.
Yeah.
I just, took the gun as it was, put it in the closet, and never touched it.
Right. Let's see, man.
Yeah, as far as getting out there and walking through them woods, I'll get out there with you if you want. Look.
I figured we'd get some guys on it.
Yeah, get them looking and find. If you don't find it, bring me out here again. I'll look for you and see if you can find it. I'm sorry.
Hey, I need some people to collect the barrels and the. It's 222 rifle barrels and 125 auto, but I need like a search party of people. I've got the area located. On the roadway to his house. Yes. Okay, man. Thanks. Bye-bye. When you stopped, did you pull over all the way off the road?
I can't remember exactly.
Okay. All on the same night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I come up this way. Here, let's do this down. I was getting cold. I went further than this, but I can't really recognize, but I'll try. Probably, it was where I could clearly throw them into there.
Okay.
Maybe a little further, next little truck length up. That looks too thick there. There, maybe. Boy, it's covered in leaves now, so I'm gonna need a metal detector to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it's no further than that tree.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, it could be, but I don't think. 'Cause I don't remember it was nighttime. I do know that, though. I just kind of looked them out there.
Yeah.
See?
I'm gonna kind of mark this location just real quick. All right. Let's see here. Go ahead, Johnny. Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good. We'll all right. I'll see him when I get here. All right. Hey, could you is Corey? Could you holler at Corey? I don't have his phone number, but tell him if he does find that 25. Actually, all these guys may need metal detectors, by the way. But before they collect anything, we want to photograph it where it's actually at. And so anyway, I just wanted to make sure that gets communicated to the guys. All right, man. Thanks. Bye-bye. Well, I'll drive up just a little more, see if there's any other little kind of openings. But
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint the exact dam, but
Yeah.
I know it's here
Yeah.
on the side of this.
so yeah. I told Johnny maybe give you a call if you found the 25 to photograph it. That way we can mark where it's actually at, and there should be 222 barrels over here. He got in the bed of his truck and slung them out. You need to grab that? Okay. Okay. So from this area, it's like maybe from right here back that way some. I mean, he got in the bed of his truck and just swung them out there. And he kind of slung it out there in an open area, but there's a lot of leaves and stuff. Might need a metal detector.
Yeah, so over there, do you do the same thing with the 25?
With the 25, he was in the driver's seat as we were driving down there and just hurled it out like that. It's not going to be terribly far in the tree line.
So you haven't found anything?
No, I hadn't found anything, but I just wanted to get it kind of like where you guys know where it's at, and then we can go through a thorough search.
He's sure from about here and on?
Yeah. Yeah.
This side of the curve.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie a piece of evidence tape here so we kind of know where it's
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and run to the LEC.
Okay.
So, anyway, you can mark that other area. When I started pointing my finger, I don't know if you were paying attention, but I was marking from like that spot to the next spot. I don't know. Did that make sense with my hands? Or?
Yeah, I mean, just not. We'll probably check that whole wooded area. You didn't throw it into that clearing, correct?
Roughly between the two telephone poles. Like when you turn left, between the two last telephone poles, I'm taking a good guess at that.
Okay.
I'm guessing at
You're
that.
saying over there,
Yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of tossed it so it shouldn't be too far.
Just underhanded it right off into the side.
Back when I worked nights, all sorts of people walk up and down there.
Yeah.
There's all kind of people out here.
All right, man. Hey, thank you.
Oh, you gonna be there for a while?
Yeah.
If you want to just that camera,
Yeah.
go in our squad room, we're all up hard, just stick it in any slot. and
Okay.
just upload that video.
Okay. Thank you.
So you been doing this how long? 25 years?
Yeah, 23. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, what was she wearing?
Jen?
Yeah.
I took her clothes off her. She doesn't have any clothes on.
Yeah, he took her clothes off. She didn't have any clothes on. What'd you do with her clothes?
Throw them away.
Yeah, I threw them away. Where at?
Garbage can.
Garbage can. At?
Right out the door, right in the garbage can. Right.
Let the garbage take it off?
Yes,
or what?
sir.
Okay.
She didn't have much
All right.
clothes on. She had,
Shit. Bye-bye.
felt like a blue moo or something. They call it. Grandma dress.
Yeah.
And that lady this morning, and I love my kids so much, Dan, showed me a picture of my two kids. And I told them there's plenty of clothes at the house for them, but they need clothes. Because I looked at that picture and I'm like, uh-huh. And Star's hair looked like it hadn't been brushed in a week. Now, maybe it wasn't the fact, but I just had that look. I was like, wow, today was a school day? Her hair looked like that. I'd never my kids like that, but I guess they're not mine at this time anymore, right? Well, Sophie can get them.
Sounds like Sophie's, she's sister. She sounds like she's a good sister.
Yeah, she's a great sister. She helped me out by giving me a chance to come here to get everything better. Turned into a nightmare. Even when I was a kid, she always helped me out a lot. Needed help. But I helped them too. I mean, she blew up my Chevy too. I had a 67 Nova. Blew that up.
Yeah.
Took it to Tampa and blew it up in Lakeland. Whatever, I had to try to fix it. Mistake done. I traded it in. But, you know, other than that, she's been a good sister my whole life. Even Carol. Carol's a good one too. And my brother Pete, he died.
How'd your brother die?
I don't know, honestly, old age maybe. You'd have to ask them. He was old. He had cancer. I know he had cancer. We didn't talk a lot, but we got along okay.
Yeah. Any other brothers?
No. Yeah, people I call my brother, but no.
Gotcha.
No brothers I got.
No. So you said he was old? Like how much older?
My brother Pete was 17 years older than me.
Goodness.
When I was 17, he was 34.
How was y'all's relationship?
Pretty good. 3 years. Yeah, we got along pretty good. Didn't talk a lot, but we got along good.
Yeah.
He was kind of selfish, but never hung around him. Every time I tried to hang with my brother, I wasn't allowed to. He had something to do. Like the old song on the radio, you know.
Yeah.
But we did stuff. I mean, we went to car shows a few times when I was a kid with him. But I lived in Florida, and he lived in Pennsylvania, so I didn't really see him much.
Yeah.
I'd travel up there once in a while on vacation in summer and visit with him a day or two and leave. Stuff like that. But
yeah.
It wasn't ever like having a phone relationship. Hey, how you doing, bro? And all that. What's going on with me? No, me and Pete. No. Kind of kept to himself. What if I called him and said, hey, you know, he'd be right there for me. But wasn't a big closeness going on there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that was because of the age difference? Or?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. She inspired me to like hot rod cars. So, you know, a lot of stuff. Took a lot of inspiration from him. My dad. Don't give up. Be a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest.
Well, you were. You know, I mean, that I kind of challenged you to that today.
Yeah, you did.
You know.
I think it's because it's like you and I were alone. It actually gave me comfortable enough to feel like. Because I mean, I did. I mean, look at the lump in my arm where it distorted me, where that thing hit me. That bullet went in that angle and went that way, and whether it diverted and went up, but it landed up here where it ended up. And unless you're in that situation, you ever been in a gunfight, man?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Unless you're in that situation, I never have. I have no idea how to react. All I know is like she was coming at me.
Yeah.
And there was no. I mean, she was lunging up off the bed down at me towards the hall there at me, you know, down that hallway corner right there. That happened so fast. And it was just trying to stop her. I know she broke my necklace because I seen that all over the floor. I didn't notice that until it was a day later or longer that my necklace was broke. It was just a little cheesy electric plated gold necklace.
Right.
Might have cost $175, $200. sorry.
Was that?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry I put everybody through all this. I should have ran the other way. Fought it out over my kids. I lost my mind at the time or something, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I
It's
don't really understand how it all happened like that.
Yeah, it's a sudden passion, is what it is, and it happens when you have. It happens a lot more than you probably even realize. That you keep treating someone like you get treated or were getting treated. You know, and you're trying to do everything that you were doing.
Right.
I'm telling you, man, you know, people of all backgrounds, ethnicity, gender, like, you push them that hard.
The thing was, I never thought, like, ahead of time, one day I'm going to kill this bitch. I never in my life thought that.
Yeah.
I only love her to death. I love her. I shouldn't even say it that way. She's dead. I love her with every ounce of energy I have.
I get it. That's all true.
But when she had this approach, and it was so threatening, and what made me, I mean, she came at me. I think she snatched my necklace out football blocking me. And that's when I ran down the hall and grabbed that 25. She came at me, and then I ran down the hall. And that happened quick.
Yeah.
And the kids didn't really see it that I know of, you know. They would have been freaking out.
Well,
I don't know.
let's see. James is 7 right now,
Right.
and Star is 5.
5.
Right? Yeah. You think they were in the living room?
Yeah, they're definitely out there. We had TV blast.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That TV set put them children as one sound level, wide open. You have kids?
Oh yeah.
Wide open sound level.
Right. That's all they know, right?
That's all they know.
Yeah.
My pride and joy.
Yeah.
My mini me. I fucked that all up now. I guess I won't get that anymore.
Well, like I said, a lot of people of all kinds of backgrounds get pushed, you know, to the limits, and find themselves doing the unthinkable, even to themselves, you know, and
Right.
you know, there's just only so much a person can't withstand, and that's the deal. You're not some monster. You're not
Thank you.
Psychopath or sociopath. It's none of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been level-headed my whole life.
I believe
Everything
it.
I
That's
do, man.
That's what I was like trying to gauge, and then
I'm a mechanic, dude.
Yeah.
I think through. And,
yeah, that's exactly
But
right.
I guess I lost the grip. I had.
Yeah.
How to describe that? I can't even describe that. So I try to. I don't know how you describe it. So where's your office? You have an office or a desk?
Yeah. So about 30 miles from here.
Okay.
35, 40 miles. I got a desk.
So you're in another town.
Yeah. But I come through here. I mean, I roam between. I don't know how much familiar you are with Dallas, but I roam from Stephenville to Texarkana.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like that. Kind of is my typical area of,
Gotcha.
of work. But I try to stay over this way. Because if I go this direction, I get up in Dallas and all that stuff, and I'm not a city guy. I don't like to be up in
Driving that thing is crazy, man.
Yeah.
And the road rage in this area is absolutely out of control.
Yeah.
I have never in my life. I've been through Miami and Tampa and Jacksonville and Orlando and some cities. Cleveland, Ohio, I went through at least. Pittsburgh. I've never encountered road rage like I have in this tiny town of 7,000 people.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, and Dallas is ridiculous.
It is.
But I can't even find my way around that. Like when I'm working over at, what's his name's over there in Aneta, I have to use that Google thing to find my way every time. Otherwise, I'm lost.
All right.
And here recently, at least I learned my way around enough to know my way to Weatherford, to find Aneta, to my job. I can find my way to the dinosaur park for the kids. This park up here, one of their favorites they like to go to.
Yeah.
Right in here. I mean, it's basically my travels. I don't get around like that.
Mm-hmm.
Stores, a Walmart now and again. And I call it Walmart price gouging so bad. I go in there and buy stuff and it's marked up. Watch your receipts, man. And you go in there again, you buy something else and look at the price and you get to the counter and it's marked up. And I just kind of randomly went through my stuff one day and I figured, I'm like, they overcharged me $8 on random items that I can memorize. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So I don't really do a lot of shopping at Walmart so much after that happened. You know, I did a little bit though.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to. And I always got my groceries over there at HEB because it was cheap.
Yeah.
And the people are friendly and they, they're helpful.
Yeah, it's a lot of good food. That was better food to me at HEB.
Right. And Kroger's is, I don't know how you describe them. They're expensive and their vegetables are terrible.
Yeah.
Guess this is the end of the line for me, ain't it?
Are you about to go in that back door?
What's that?
You about to go in the back door?
Yes, sir.
Can you wait on me to go in there? I don't know the code.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I was down in Florida one time, getting ready to move a portable building for a crane company. And I walked in this building just to check to see if it was vacant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a portable building with a crane company. We're going to have to put straps on this thing, dude. And we're going to lift it up, put it on a trailer, and haul off. What do you think was in there? Task force getting ready to do a drug raid with all these plans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they freaked out, man. Them boys are like, hold right there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, dude, I'm just here to move the building. It was something. I never forgot that. And they were, task force. They drug raid and all that junk. Yeah. They make their big plans. And I think they were scared I was going to blow their cover. I was like, I'm not here for that, man. I just want to measure the building and see what's inside this thing.
Right.
And it was kind of cute, dude.
All right. Well, let's roll back in here. I've got to go to little man's room.
I got a pee too, if that's okay.
You bet. You got it.
Edward Pautenis was convicted of murder and tampering with evidence. He was sentenced to life in prison.